Hi everyone, welcome to Beyond the Evidence. This is the channel where justice matters. My name is Marv. I am a true crime fanatic, and I love to dig deeper into the mysteries of unsolved cases. Join me as we search for missing persons, uncover the clues in unsolved murders, follow along with jury trials, and we'll be a voice for the voiceless. I'll share with you the facts, the theories, the clues, the evidence, and the controversies that surround these cases. This is Beyond the Evidence. Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? My mouse is going crazy on me. I can't figure it out. So you're going to have to bear with the mouse tonight. It's going to cause some issues. So I am glad that everyone could join me for the Friday night Flora 4 Live. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who has covered our Flora 4 Angels for us this week. I know I'm doing tonight, and we still have Miss Persevere coming up tomorrow night. And I believe we're going to have a live early Sunday morning by another creator. I think most of us will be in bed. But we can sure watch the replay, and we'll be getting that information out to you. So I am just going to quickly jump to the chat here. Audra, hello. I sent you an email with some rocks on the news that I painted for the angel. Oh, Flora Angels. Okay, awesome. Southern Gale True Crime, nice to see you here. Thank you for jumping in and doing a live yourself regarding Flora this week. You did a great job. Southern Gale True Crime is a new channel. So if my moderators, one of you can put in Southern Gale's link in the chat, everybody go subscribe to her. She's doing a fantastic job, and she's a new content creator. Let's see here. Jill, how are you? Miranda, thank you for covering the Flora 4. Absolutely. Got some repeats. Jinx, as always, thank you for supporting Flora Week. We appreciate it. Honeybee, so nice to see you here. A lot of people don't know that Honeybee does do a lot for Flora on her YouTube channel. She doesn't do lives, but she does shorts and she does videos. So check her channel out too. Jinxie, if you can throw her link in the chat, I would appreciate it. Melissa, nice to see you. Boston Christian, glad you're here. Ruckus, how are you? Susie, nice to see you. Let's see here. Everybody's saying hello to each other. Miranda, nice to see you. I don't think I reached you. Check my messages already. Okay. Gibbo, nice to see ya. Happy Friday, everyone. For Tabby and Drake. Mark, we love you. Thank you for contacting me today. Let's see here. Miranda, Mustang, can't forget about you. Hello, dear. I was busy in another creator's chat, and they said Mustang said hello, and I missed it. So sorry. Troll Shovel. Hi, everyone. Don't forget, Sunday at 1 p.m. Yes, Sunday, 1 p.m. Karina McClurkin it's the walk, memorial walk for Karina. If you can go, please do so. And I will put that information on the community page right after this live. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Gladys, how are you? So glad you're here. Audra, nice to see you. I think rescue all the dogs. You're not late, sweetheart. We haven't started yet. I'm kind of just saying hello to everybody first, and then we're going to get started. Hi, Deb's True Crime Notebook. If you didn't see Deb's channel, please go and take a look. She did an introduction video for this week's Flora Week, and she did a timeline. Susie, nice to see you. Rescue all the dogs, honey. I'm so sorry about your fur baby. I hope you're doing okay. I know it's not easy to lose a fur baby. My heart's with you, honey. And we've already got the Keyana, Keyara, Kerriele, and Kionnie hearts going. Keep them going throughout the whole stream, please. Oh, yeah, Messenger. Sorry. Oh. So the information that I'm receiving is that a body was found in Tennessee. It is not Sebastian, and it is not Summer Wells. So I will keep everyone updated on that coming up. That makes me a little sad because that means we have another missing child person in Tennessee. And we have enough there going on right now. Okay. So this week we have been talking about the Flora fires from Flora, Indiana. Mark and Frosty did a great job giving you a rundown of the case. And Coach Kev gave us a great live information about Flora and how to protect ourselves during fires, what things to do, what things not to do. Ruckus gave us another great live. Southern Gal True Crime, she showed some videos. And last night, True Crime Investigates had one big long video that made me cry like crazy. As you all know, I'm usually a person that'll jump right in with facts and things about a case. Well, I think tonight what I would like to do instead is start out with something that we all can do together. And then I am going to bring on a special guest after that. And then I think Jinx is going to join us for a little bit too. So I'm the emotional one of the group. And you're going to see that tonight in my sense of style, how I'm presenting the activity that I'm going to have us do together. And what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to make anyone do anything. I'm trying to get everyone to see things from a different perspective. In this case, we have 4 little girls who have lost their lives. We have a mother who lost her whole family in minutes and has been having to deal with that every day for the past almost 8 years, 7.5 years. And I can't imagine what kind of pain that is. It's bad enough when you lose a relative that's an adult. But to lose a child, I've heard what it's like from the families that I work with. I talked to Mark Tate. I know what him and Buffy have gone through with the loss over Tabitha. I know how it affects them even 20 plus years later. Okay? Losing one child is horrific. But to lose all 4 of your children and not have anyone survive, I don't know how Galen did it. I don't know how she pulled herself back up, and put one foot in front of the other. I really don't know how. I don't know that I could. But I have to say that is one strong, strong lady. So tonight, I want to do an activity with you. I'm going to put a trigger warning on this. If you are very sensitive and get triggered easily, don't do this activity. So for like Jinx and Kathy, you're not going to want to do this activity. I can see it already. But I want to give everyone a perspective, a different perspective. When I was doing my college courses for associates or my bachelor's, one of the things that they tried to teach us was putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and being a minority. And we were given an assignment. You had to go someplace where you felt like you were the minority. And I'm thinking, where's that going to be in Wisconsin, in the little towns that I'm by? Where can I go that I would be the minority? And my husband and I got talking, and he's like, what place would you feel extremely uncomfortable walking into all by yourself? And I'm like, there really isn't any place that I would feel uncomfortable. And he says, I know a place where you would feel uncomfortable. And I'm like, where's that? And he's like, have you ever been to a strip club, a dancers club where females are dancing and men are watching the females? And I'm like, well, no. And he's like, you'd be the minority there, wouldn't you? So I put myself in that place for this assignment, and boy, did my perspective change on life. So, with that being said, I want everyone in the chat to think about a time in their life that they were terrified the most. Let that memory come back into your mind. Don't bring it out full front, just remember it. Keep it in the back of your mind. And then I'm going to talk. And when I tell you to bring that out front, that feeling of the moment that you were terrified the most, to let it all come out, bring it out, and we'll see what happens. Okay? So, not everyone here might be a parent, but you know somebody who is a parent. So you know what it's like when you have your own kids or you have a loved one that has kids. So everybody should be able to put themselves in the situation. So just imagine it's a Sunday night. You're at home, it's evening, the family gets together. You are with your 4 daughters. You've eaten dinner together. The girls are playing. They're having a good time. They're in and out of the room you're in while you're watching TV. They're bopping around, doing their thing. The oldest one is probably listening to music, while the 2 younger ones are in and out, playing with different toys, running around. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing and unwinding on a Sunday evening. And as the mom, as the dad, you finally say, okay, girls, it's time to get ready for bed. So you take your girls upstairs and you make sure everybody's got their blankets and stuffed animals. You may read them a book. You tuck them in. You give them a kiss. You tell them you love them. And you go back downstairs thinking your 4 precious girls are now upstairs in their beds, snuggled in, sleeping, having sweet dreams. You get a little bit of time to yourself to unwind. Whether you watch TV, read a book, do whatever. Then it's time for you to go to bed because it's an early morning. The girls have school, you have work. So you're in bed sleeping, knowing that your 4 girls are safe upstairs. They're sleeping. And you've been sleeping for a while when all of a sudden, something wakes you up. You're disoriented. You don't know what's happening. This is where that feeling of you being terrified is going to come out into the forefront. This is when you're not going to know what's your right and what's your left because you have just been startled awake. You're not thinking clearly. Did you just hear something? What happened to make me wake up like that? And then all of a sudden, it gets worse. You smell smoke. So that terrified feeling that you originally felt, it's been heightened by 10, 20, 30. The panic that you felt before is unbearable. You know there's smoke and you have to get to your kids. You've got to get your girls out of there. And the feeling when you find out that you can't get to them, what do? Where do you go? Who do you get help from? So the first thing you do is you run outside and you start screaming and yelling, help me, help me. My girls are inside the house. The house is on fire. Help me. And you're hoping that somebody hears you. And in the meantime, you're running back in the house, trying to get to those stairs, trying to get to that hallway, to get up those stairs to get your girls. But the fire, it's too bad. You can't get up there. So you run outside again, and you're screaming and you're hollering for help. And a police officer comes, and you're trying to tell them exactly where to go to get to your girls. But nobody can get to them. So you're running inside again, putting yourself in danger, trying to get your girls out of that house because nobody else can do it. So you're the one that has to be the one to do it because you're mom. You're the superhero. You can always, always save your girls. And my heart is beating profusely out of my chest right now, thinking about what Galen Rose went through that night, because what I just described is exactly what she went through, but so much worse than any of us can ever imagine. Because unless you've been there and you've been there and were in that moment and knew that terror, that your girls, nobody could get to your girls, you couldn't get to your girls, you're not going to know what she went through by a long shot. And for anybody to say that she was the reason this fire started is absolutely asinine. Absolutely. Because in the end, the last thing that Galen remembers is being put on a stretcher and being put in a helicopter, knowing that no one got her girls out. How would that make you feel? How would that make you feel as a mother, as a father? It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man, you can still put yourself in her shoes. The guilt that you would feel afterwards is horrendous. Now, I know I see the tears in the audience in the chat. People saying they can't even put themselves there. But in order to understand what those girls went through, what that mother went through, you have to try. Because there's people in this world that are villainizing her, stating that she won't talk to police. Well, she has talked to police. She has. Twice, in fact, that I know of. Twice. So to come out and spread lies about her and say she won't assist in the investigation is a bunch of bullshit. She has. Now, is there more information, or do they want to do investigators want to talk to her again? Absolutely. They absolutely do. They always do. But put yourself in Galen's shoes. You have severe burns. You're in the hospital. You have just lost your reason for existence. You have lost all 4 of your daughters within minutes. Within minutes. You're alone now. Your family's gone. You have to heal, first of all. Okay. And plan funerals, not just one, but 4. So you decide to do one funeral for all 4 girls, but you still have to go through the process of burying not just one, but all 4. You do this knowing that you're the minority in the town. You're not part of the clique. There's whispers already behind your back. And yet every morning you have to wake up and put one foot in front of the other, go on with your day, and try to go on with your life. And then that night, you go to sleep, or at least try to in the beginning. And those nightmares come back to haunt you every night. Now, as time goes on, it gets a little easier, but you still have a huge hole in your heart. And nobody, it seems like nobody is trying to help you find out what happened to your girls. You just want to know, how did that fire start? How did my girls die? It's only human to want to know those details. The first month goes by. Next thing you know, 6 months go by. Then it's a year. And in this time, within a couple months of this happening, what you think is an accident turns out to be murder. Because you find out that somebody actually lit your house on fire. So it's not just a freak accident that your 4 girls are no longer with you. Somebody took them from you. On purpose. So with everything else going on, you're dealing with the loss, you're dealing with all your feelings, you're dealing with being injured yourself. Now you have to wrap your head around that. And like I said, year goes by, nothing. 2 years, nothing. 3 years, nothing. 4 years, same answer. 5. But you have to know, you know in your head that your 4 girls are gone. They've been taken. But do we hear about it on the news? Well, yeah, in the beginning. But do you get updates from officers? No. Does anybody care about your girls and the fact that they're gone? Doesn't seem like it. Police aren't even talking about it. But they are talking about other girls, making it a priority. National news, Crime Con, books being written, documentaries being made, but nothing is going on for your girls. And you take a chance. You meet someone, and they say, I'm going to tell your girl's story. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to teach the world about what happened to your girls so we can get justice. You put yourself out there and you trust. For once, you trust somebody. At first, they're doing a fantastic job. They're giving out facts. They're telling what happened. You trust them. You're so appreciative of them. Until you're not. And you realize that the whole time that person's been stabbing you in the back. She told people behind your back that you're retarded, don't understand anything. And that only she can make decisions for her, for you as the mother. She uses your daughter's memorial site that she created to try to help the individual who has been arrested for allegedly killing the 4 white girls in the town now over on your daughter's site. Do you think after that, after you found out that she has betrayed you in every way possible, do you really think that this woman is going to trust again? Trust easily? Absolutely not. And when somebody fucks with your mind like that, you don't come back from it very easily. And that is attached to all the other pain that you're going through every day after losing your 4 daughters, after having them taken and stolen from you. That is the story. That is the story of Galen and her 4 girls. This individual has brought disgrace on this story, on this mother, and on these victims. Now, there's people out in the world that are good. Kathy, Jinx, Indie Archive. Those are the 3 top names that come to my mind when anybody talks about Flora. They started a movement with Flora. They were duped by this person also. But out of darkness, out of greed, out of evil comes light, love, purity. And these 3 individuals are key in bringing out that light, love, and purity, and making sure that this story doesn't die. Making sure that these girls' legacies live on. And that all of us join them and fight for justice. Fight to make sure that everyone knows that their lives mattered. Fight to find the individual who set that house on fire. And fight to put them behind bars and make them pay for what they've done. That is what this week is about. It's about stopping the gatekeeping. No one story is one person's. The more people that tell the story, the better it is for the victims and the families. So I encourage all of you, as creators, to continue to tell the story of Keyana, Keyara, Kionnie, and Kerriele. I encourage all of you to tell the story of Tabitha Shuck Rains, Abby and Libby, Sebastian Rogers, Elijah Vu, Summer Wells, and many, many, many others all across the world. Thank you all for going through that activity with me. I know that it was not easy, but I'm hoping that by doing that together, your perception has changed a little bit. Because none of us, no one here can walk through Galen's shoes. She's the only one who knows what it felt like. We can all just imagine. So, say their names. Say their names. Tell their stories. And even after there's justice, keep telling their stories. Keep telling their stories. Don't ever let their memories die. With that being said, I am going to put the link in the chat. I'm hoping that Kathy is here. Okay. I am going to go through some of the comments here and wait to see if she's here. I put the link in the chat. She's got it. And let's see here. I just got to find my way. Get back to where I was. There we go. There is the link to Southern Gale True Crime, please check out her channel and subscribe to that. Let's see here. Justice for Keyana, Keyara, Kerriele, and Kionnie. That's exactly what this week is about. We are standing together. Honeybee says one more video coming soon. Let's see here. I did get it, I think. I know I got one today. And Mark has started a legal fund account. So now we have a place to put this. So thank you so much. Let's see here. All right. Yes, Rescue's dog passed away. That's what I had said. We're so sorry for her fur baby. Kathy,
Hi, Marv. How are you?
how are you, my dear?
I'm good. I'm good. Sitting outside this evening. It's very nice.
I'm glad.
I was sitting here listening to you. I did have to turn you down a little bit so I wouldn't be on here bawling and crying. but did a very good job of explaining what Galen went through that night. You know, uh, I'm ecstatic this week for Flora Week. I wanted to come on and thank everybody, um, especially Jinx and Indie Archives. I know they helped put all this together, and they have the floor4.org.
Yes.
And everybody that put on a show, it was amazing. I actually got to watch every one of them. I some of them I didn't get to watch live, but most of them I did. Coach Kev's, I was sick. I had some bad chicken salad.
Did you?
Yeah, so I got to listen, but I didn't get to say much. So he did a wonderful job.
I did.
Everybody's done a wonderful job. Um, I have sent all of these to Galen every time someone does a live or she knows it's Flora Week. She just said to tell everyone that she loves them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, I want to start out by saying, God bless everyone. I know that these little girls are in heaven
They are.
looking down at everyone and thinking, man, look at all these people that care so much for us. We are not forgotten, and they're never gonna be forgotten. um
Yes.
I know you talked a little bit about a couple years ago some of the things that happened, and some of the things that went on, you know uh
It's sad that anybody would have to go through that.
exactly. I do not wish any harm or bad ill to anyone that was involved in any of the foundation stuff or any of that. I just want to move forward. All I wanted then was help, and that's all I want now is help,
Right.
you know, to spread the word and to let everyone know there's something wrong here, you know, and it's hard. After watching everybody,
Yeah.
and
I
they
can
don't even
imagine.
know Gaylen, or
We
and
don't
they never met the girls, so
we don't have to know them. We don't have to know them to have empathy for them and to show love to them and support them. Physically know them. We know them by people like you who get their story out there, by people like Jinx and Indy who have who have talked about them, who Galen has shared videos with, you've shared pictures. That's how we get to know them.
I thought, Marv, that I had let someone take my voice for the girls. I really did. I had made a lot of mistakes in trusting some people and things, and I put Galen in a hard position and in harm's way. Um, and but now I know that my voice is not taken for the girls. I've been doing this for 7, 8 years. When we originally started the first committee, um, I haven't stopped. I will not
Mhm.
stop. I just want everybody to know their names and demand justice in their names.
Right. And that's what we all want, and that's why we're all here. I'm going to bring on your
My
sister
buddy.
from another mother.
Oh,
Jane.
No,
and she's not showing herself.
No.
Uh,
no. Are you kidding me? I've done been bawling. I've got a scratchy voice and everything.
well, I have to tell you, last night I was in Camden watching my granddaughter play softball, and then rain came. Oh, big rain came. And I was driving home and I turned on Anthony. I'm going to call him that because I've known him since he was a teenager. His live last night, and I literally think I was crying harder than it was raining. I had to pull over. Um, that was like one of the best tributes to the girls I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He is amazing when it comes to video. I said last night in our Discord that I cried and then I calmed myself down and composed myself, and then all of a sudden something in the video would hit me again. I'd start all over.
Go. I just cried through the whole thing. I could hardly. When he wanted somebody to come on, I wanted to. I really wanted to. I wanted to thank him, and I mean, I want to thank everyone. I mean, let's just say Deb's True Crime Notebook Sunday night. You know, the case facts, that was awesome. I just loved it. And then Fire and Ice, Mark and Thomas on Monday night with Coach Kev, the facts and some of the things that they mentioned and the things that Mark brought up, I never thought of. I mean, and then you go into Coach Kev Tuesday night, and
Mhm.
I adore Coach Kev. The way that he talks about this case and he talks about the girls in Gaylen and his knowledge. I'm thank him so much. And then Wednesday night we had Ruckus Rocks and Frank Meister, which
Yep.
I was surprised to see Frank Meister, but I was grateful that he come joined in with Ruckus and talked about the girls. And Southern Gal True Crime Wednesday night, I watched her. I don't even know who she is. And
None of
I,
us did.
it was like I was so overwhelmed. And then the next day, you had Arctic Fox True Crime on Thursday. I don't even know who that is. And
Yes.
he was talking about the girls. And then Thursday was Anthony, and now you. And then I know Mrs. Purse has and Ruckus or someone is doing one tomorrow. And just everything. I appreciate everyone. This is just overwhelming and amazing. And thank you, Jinx and Indie Archives.
Absolutely. Jinx, what do you got to say for yourself?
I really want to say thank you to everybody. I just kind of put it out as a general thing like, hey, thinking about doing Flora Week, would anybody be interested? And then the next thing it was just an overwhelming outpour of support. And so many people jumped on it and said yes. Like, I didn't even have to really directly ask anybody. People were just jumping on board. And like I said, there was other people who caught on or saw that we were doing it and also joined in, like Southern Gal True Crime. She really put her heart into that, and she was so sweet to start that. And then because of her live, Arctic Fox picked it up too. The next morning he put out a video, and that was like just people are catching on. And then I want to add to the list because I know that tomorrow is Miss Persevere at 8, and I think Ruckus is joining her. But then Sunday morning, it's going to be an early bird special. It's Al on the Prowl. Our wonderful Dangerous Dave is going to be doing a Flora Live as well, and I
Oh,
haven't had
wow.
any direct contact with him either. It's just people are seeing this and catching the wave and going and doing it too. And thank you. That's all I can say is thank you. Like, please keep spreading the word. Please keep saying the girls' names. Keep their memory alive, and that justice is being fought for because Galen deserves it. Keyara, Keyana, Kionnie, and Kerriele all deserve it. And we won't stop. And
No.
I can't tell you how overwhelmingly appreciated it is the amazing people who've come out to support this. Like you said, Thomas and Mark, like I wasn't expecting Mark to pop on and do it. Deb's start to the Sunday was amazing with that beautiful video of the timeline. Coach Kev is always just rocking it, man. He's just a fighter for Flora, and we appreciate it. Ruckus and Frank Meister knocked it out too. They had some engaging conversations and some other really good points made.
Oh, let's
And
not forget about Honeybee and all her artwork. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
oh my gosh,
Uh,
she has made so many flyers for us and charismatically clever as well.
Yes.
Holy
mhm.
cow.
I mean, the support. I mean,
Justice for Bailey as
Fa-
well. Like I shared her
Faye,
post.
let's not forget about Faye and Rescue All Dogs and all these people behind the
On
scenes that are there to support everything we put out there. Everything we put out there, you
and the
know.
memorial walks. They come to the memorial walks too. Like it's just really
Yes.
touching and moving. And thank you. Like this is gaining momentum, and let's just make it gain more, you guys. Thank you so much for all the time and effort that you've put in for this week. It is not unnoticed, and it's not it's so appreciated. Like I can't say thank you enough. I really can't.
Yeah.
And the way you talked about Galen, Marv, she would have been very, very, very proud of how you did that. That was a really special weekend for her and the girls, you know, just being cheerleaders, for the Lafayette Diamonds and, you know, Kerriele was going to be a flyer. I don't know if anybody knows what that means, but in cheerleading, they lift you and you do different things. And, that was her. And that was a big, they went once a week and they learned these cheers. I think they were in two different divisions, and there was a younger division, and then the older girls were in the older division. But they practiced, and I
Yeah.
mean they just love that. And that weekend, Wednesday night, Jackie had them. They were all over for dinner. Aunt Jackie always had them over for dinner. Jackie cooked all the time. She just loved to feed people. Just loved to feed people. And Gillian worked on their hair and the girls worked on their cheers. And Jackie was telling me, when Kerriele got up, because she was a little nervous because, they lift him in the air and her
Yeah.
legs were straight and her arms were straight. She looked over and leaned and just blew a kiss out to everybody. And Jackie said she'll never forget that memory. I mean, that's one of those that forever. It's a
Right.
forever. She was just so happy. That is just, she was like, I did this
Right.
for them to come home from the happiest time.
And go through the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to fathom, and I know people have watched that dash cam, and it's hard to hear Galen scream for her kids.
Oh,
It's
it's
hard to
yes.
know that she did come out of that bedroom and see that smoke, and she went around that corner screaming for her girls, screaming their names. She tried to go up those stairs and was overcome with smoke, and she went back outside screaming. That girl went in a couple times before she went screaming at the neighbors. It's
Yep.
not like she didn't try. She
No,
did
she
try.
tried.
She was life flighted out of there afterwards and spent how long in the hospital recovering from smoke inhalation to her lungs and also wounds from the fire?
She,
She had severe burns.
yeah, she did try so hard, and to know that people don't want the 911 released. What's on the 911? I mean, and then for the county to pay all that money to keep it secret, and then, I never thought of I never thought of the landlord as the insurance policy being a lottery win until
Mhm.
till the news, Dacaria Turner, that's his
Yeah.
name. He's such a nice guy. Did that. I just couldn't believe it.
All right, let's see. Sterling's here. Sterling, where are you, Sterling?
This is Cambodia. This is the
Oh,
capital of Cambodia, the Phnom Penh, Cambodia. I just wanted to show you
wow.
I only got about 30 seconds, but I wanted to show you real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Mm. Oh, the infinity pool is very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
Kathy, I just wanted to say thank you to you as well because I know that you've been fighting for almost 8 years now for these girls and you haven't stopped and you had to overcome some obstacles
Thanks, Sterling. Go ahead, Jinx.
and you haven't given up and it's inspiring. It really is.
Right.
And you inspire me every day to keep going. And Galen inspires me even more. How she gets out of bed is just a miracle, in my opinion, every day for her just to get herself out of bed. I don't know if I could do it,
I don't know that I
So,
could either. And she is a miracle to me too. And I've
yeah,
always promised her that I would not stop until her little girls got justice, and I mean that. I'm here to the end, no matter what. I don't care if they say it was the guy next door, if it was the landlords, it was the police officer. I don't care who it is, as long as they get prosecuted for the death of those four little girls. I don't care. You know, I
Exactly.
I don't care. You know, and to listen to people say, well, Doug Carter says this, Doug Carter said, listen, in the beginning, Doug Carter threw the blame off on Galen. He just kept saying that. And now this past year, Doug Carter's come out, well, we've never thought Galen was a suspect. So that guy kind of talks out both sides of his mouth. I really don't know. You know, people say, well, it was Colton, well, it was this person that, okay, well, if it was, then why weren't they arrested? Why is it that they're just waiting to hear from the mother?
Right.
I mean, what if she didn't make it in the fire? I guess we wouldn't have investigated it, because we wouldn't have nobody to talk to.
agreed.
Right.
I mean,
It would
so
it would have died away with all of them.
so for 8 years we've been waiting to talk to the mother. We just been waiting. I wonder how much longer we'll wait to talk to the mother.
Before we do something, anything.
You know, it's sad. I mean, like, I was watching Kristen. Is it Kristen behind the crime door? Is
Yep.
that her show?
Yep.
Okay. And I think it was Aspen was on there and Frank. And I caught a little bit of her talking about Flora, and I never realized that she had done anything on Flora. Back when this started, I mean, the only person I knew on YouTube was Gray Youth.
No,
That's the
no.
just so you know, that's the only person I've ever watched or for 7 or 8 years up until I was contacted by those people. I had no clue who anyone was except for Gray Use. And I've been in this little Facebook Messenger group for 7 years. And these ladies are Gray Use followers. They're very
Mhm.
nice ladies. I mean, they're not interested in Flora either. I mean, but I've stayed in this group. They're very nice people. But last night, Kristen, she made a comment. Like she said, when she did Flora, people would tell, oh, don't say this, don't say that, oh, don't talk about this. And, it's been that way for 7 years.
You're right.
8 years, people will say, oh, it's not that. It's not race, or it's not this, or it's not that. Don't talk about that. Or, Rafael
Kathy.
Sanchez would never, ever talk about anything, and he was the main reporter that the family went to all the time. He would not do anything. And thank God for Dakaria coming in. I think it was when all this started with that person in
Right.
December. And I was distraught over everything that was happening. And I got a phone call, and it was Dakaria. And he said, he goes, I'm really looking for someone that knows Galen Rose. And I was like, well, you found her. You found her. And he's like, I'm this Dakaria Turner from Dada TV, and I'd like to talk to you. And I want you to know, I think I told him everything. I literally cried for an hour on the phone with this man. And then here came 4 specials, and he's not done. Just so you
Yeah.
guys know, he's not done, and I adore him.
Candace, Galen's talked to him twice already. What more do you want?
I'm gonna
Time.
pop off and get back in chat. I just want to thank everybody again. Thank you so much. I love you, Kathy. I love you, Marv. I'm gonna pop back in
Okay,
chat.
All right.
okay, bye,
I mean,
honey.
what more do you want? It's not like she hasn't talked to them at all. She has.
Yeah, I saw Candace's comments last night. I don't know who she is, but one thing I did read, she said Colton and oh, those other people are involved. So all I have to say to Candace is, if you have information,
If
there's a
you have
1-800
proof,
number. You need to report what you know. And if it is
right?
Colton Creasy, or if it is those other two people, oh, Jennifer Barnes Dean, or
Yeah.
Corey Dean, or any of those people that you think it is, you need to report them right away to the police. To
And
the police,
proof.
Indiana
Show
State
it.
Police. There's a number. You
Yep.
know, quit posting in here this stuff here. Go report it. That's what we want. We want people to know more about this case and to report it. Say something,
Right.
anything.
Don't
Uh,
just come in the chats and say Galen needs to finally talk to ISP. I mean, how many more times does she have to talk to them?
well,
Her story's not going
wait
to
till
change.
wait till Candace sees the next interview that Doug Carter did about Galen Rose in this case that hasn't came out yet, but they will. They will.
Yep.
They will.
I get
And
mad when people say that, Kathy, because they're like, she just finally needs to talk to them. Well, she has talked to them.
she
Do you
has
think
talked
what
to
she
him.
said in the past 2 times she talked to them is really going to change all that much in
She
8 years?
gave them all the information that she had. I mean, it's not like they didn't ask her about Colton.
Right.
It's not like they didn't ask her about those other people, because they did.
Right.
So I'm not sure what the follow up that they're looking for. And if um, I mean, she had a lawyer, and she took advice from her attorneys, and she has always taken advice from her attorneys. And right after the NAACP, that interview, and Doug Carter came out really hard against her. I don't know. I believe that she just, I mean, it's really hard to continue to listen to people blaming you for killing your children,
Right.
and I don't blame her for not wanting to talk to them.
I don't either.
I mean, there's a letter that they sent from, I think it was the prosecutor here, or the Indiana State Police sent it to her saying, how was it? Dakaria had it on, I don't know if it was the third episode or he talked to Galen about it, but it was, we're going to give you immunity, Galen, if you will, over your drug stuff. What drug stuff? What are you talking about? Why do you need to give her immunity for what? If she talks
Right.
about what? You know,
I mean,
it was
okay, she wasn't the only person that was in that town smoking weed at the time.
I'm 100% sure there was thousands over there smoking weed at the
Right.
time. It's hard to
So
tell.
you're gonna give all the other people immunity that were
Yeah.
smoking weed that know something about this case?
It was really rude. I mean, they've never treated Galen like a victim of a
No, they
crime.
haven't.
Ever. Ever. They never offered her victims assistance. They never offered her anything. All they've
Right.
ever done was victim shame her. Ever. You
I
know?
agree.
And it was the same, like, for years. At Facebook, I was always on Facebook, and in these Facebook groups, Asha Husney always told me, read, 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 read. So I always stayed in the Abby Libby groups and whatever Flora groups, and that's what I did. I read, 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 and then I had so much anger, and I would hear people say she should have died with her children, or I mean, so many nasty things, and I got kicked out of a lot of groups.
I'm
But it just all those things that it just was a buildup, and I would never in a million years compare Delphi and Flora. They were two separate tragedies, and then to listen to people or to read these people say the things that they say, it's heartbreaking. Galen doesn't feel that way, and I'm 100% sure Becky and Anna doesn't feel that way.
right.
You know, they're tragedies, and these families lost a tremendous, tremendous amount of the girls. I mean, just I don't understand how these people can say bad things about Anna or Becky or Galen. I
It's easy in today's society, Kathy, to do that because everybody is behind a screen and on a keyboard. It's not like when you and I grew up where we had to say things and communicate face to face.
mhm.
You don't say those kind of things normally when you're face to face with a person. Some people are outspoken, that's just the way they are, you know, but it didn't happen every single time you communicated with somebody like it does today.
I mean, the just the let alone the scams that people, like, in the beginning, the day that I went to the hospital, there was like 3 or 4 GoFundMe's. Okay. And it was like, I'm like, Jackie, do you know any of these people? And it was like, I know people had good intentions, but it was like, so, I mean, like, Caitlin just lost her 4 children, and everybody's out there with 3 or 4 GoFundMe's and trying to raise all this money. And, then after that, then we had this guy had a you caring that he was scamming people here in Delphi out of their money, telling him he
Yeah,
was. I mean, that was on the news. I mean,
remember that.
and I don't, and then when we started that committee, there's a lot, I want everyone to know that I did file a complaint with the Attorney General of the state of Indiana, and there's a case number. I also filed a complaint against the fraudulent Flora committee or funds or whatever. So I have 2 complaints with the Attorney General of the state of Indiana, because that was the way I had to go about doing both of them. So, I am fighting for that money back, and it was $20,000, guys, not 40. I wish we'd have raised 40. It was 20. It was 20, you know. And the reason we stopped right 1 year after, 1 year, Galen had her civil suit, and we were at a meeting, a- and some of these people, their families are on the board and stuff, and they just said that the town didn't want us to raise any more funds, and that's where it
Well,
ended.
you know what? Then they should have put that money in a bank account
Well, it wasn't a bank
under
account.
a trust.
They should have, but and I learned my lesson, Marv. I'm done trusting people. Like, I'm not really, I have this great group of people now, that's been helping me and doing things and the walks and the different things that we've went on. But I'm done trusting people, right now.
I couldn't wear my Flora sweatshirt tonight, so I wore the shirt you
Oh,
created
I love it.
for the memorial walk. Um,
Mm.
absolutely, I wear my shirts and my sweaters for all of the cases, and
Oh, I'm
I don't
here.
have anything purple, so I
Oh,
wore
I'm
yours.
here to support all the cases. Oh gosh, just listening to Frosty and Mark talk about Lauren Spears,
Yeah,
that warms my heart because when Asha Husney from Fox 59, she told us, she said, never stop saying their names or keeping them in the public. You excuse me, you don't want their case to turn out like Lauren Spears, where nobody talks about her anymore. So I
right.
am so happy that Thomas and Mark are talking about her, and the book came out. It's time to start talking about her name again too. You know,
Yeah, I
it,
agree.
it's just sad that we have all these cases in Indiana. That sad, just really sad.
And when we think about it, you know, so I became involved with the Abby and Libby case, and then Tabitha case, and Ashley Morris Mullis and Jamie Tate and so many others out of Indiana.
Mhm.
And so when I started my channel, yeah, it was a Delphi based channel for the first year. I completely know that. And then the second year branched out, you know, and we're trying to do a mixture of old and new because, yes, the new cases, that's what's hitting the news right now. That's what's happening right now.
Mhm.
Like you said, those older cases still need publicity. They still need to be talked about.
What
Those
I love is how
still
all you
need to be
guys,
remembered.
now, uh, the creators can create together and get
Yeah,
along and bring awareness to these cases instead of the arguing and the fighting and the calling each other names, and because that's really not why everyone's here. We're all here because we want justice for Abby and Libby and Keyara and Keyana and Kerriele and Kionnie, and Tabitha Tate, and is her name Karen? I can't say the last name. I don't want to.
Selena McClurkin.
Yeah, Karina, and Lauren Spears. That's what we're here for. We're here for support and just to tell the families, we know the pain you're going through, and we want to be here to support you. That's what I do for Gaylyn. I don't talk for Gaylyn. I talk to Gaylyn. Okay.
Right,
I don't talk for Gaylyn. I will never talk for Gaylyn because I could never know the pain that she goes through on a daily basis. Never.
right.
So that's why I don't talk for her. I talk about her and I talk about the girls and I just talk about wanting justice, you know.
Exactly. And
And
that's
Mark,
all we can do. I,
Mhm.
I hope to meet Galen one day and just give her a big hug.
Oh, I really think one day we're all gonna have a road trip. Me, you, Jane, rescue all dogs,
That
Mama
would be
Wolverine.
great.
We're all gonna get in one big van and do a big old road trip where Galen's at. I'm telling you, and we have to.
That would be awesome.
It would be. You guys are awesome, and it is wonderful. And thank you for having me, Marv. But I'm gonna have to get out of the out here because the mosquitoes are starting to attack me. I
Oh,
have that
honey, I know what
wonderful
that's like.
blood.
Run, run.
Oh, and tomorrow I'm going on the Abby Libby ride. Me and my husband
Oh,
and a
awesome.
few of our friends. If anybody wants any pictures or anything, I just be
Yeah,
more than happy.
absolutely.
I can't wait to go. I'm excited. Tomorrow's my birthday. I turn
Happy birthday, Kathy.
57 years old tomorrow. I'm
Oh,
blessed. And I am blessed to have all you guys. And if I forgot to, oh, Miranda Lee, I love you. Did I mention Faye? Love you.
Mhm.
Everybody in chat, thank you. Ruckus. I don't know if I know I missed a bunch of people. I just hope everybody knows how much I love them and I appreciate this.
Yeah, exactly.
You have a good night, Marv.
Thank you. Sorry I triggered you in the beginning.
No,
I knew it
actually,
was going to be rough, but I think it's important for the audience to see that perspective.
yeah. I mean, people don't see or know that perspective of it. You know, if you put yourself in her shoes, then you could realize, you know. So
Yep.
thank you,
Oh, we're
Marv.
getting lots of birthday wishes now.
Tell everyone thank you so much. I can't wait. I'm excited. Look at all
Yes.
this. Yeah, I wasn't gonna mention it, but you know.
I'm glad you did because now you're getting happy birthdays.
I know, and I love that. I love that.
Love you, girl. Mwah.
Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye. I love having Kathy come on and Jinx come on. Um, they do a lot behind the scenes for these girls, and one of these days, I'm gonna get that indie archive to come on here and talk to, because those individuals, Kathy, Jinx, and Indie Archive, are the three pillars that have held up these Flora 4 girls. And all of us as creators are more than happy to jump in and team up with the three of them to keep Keyana, Keyara, Kerriele, and Kionnie's memory alive. It's important. As Tabitha's song says, say their name. Say their names. And as bad as Indiana is with their rate of solving these crimes, it's not just Indiana. Yeah, they're one of the worst, but you've got so many other people missing or unsolved murders in all the other states. And we can't forget about them. While we focus a lot of the cases out of Indiana, that happens everywhere. There's families, mothers, fathers, children, feeling the same thing that our Indiana families are feeling. And it's my hope and my prayer that our Indiana families have bound together so tightly and become a community of their own that they continue to reach out and help others in other states that have gone through similar things, and help give them support and advice and encouragement. Because the one thing that you can do that will hurt most of all is to stop saying their names and stop talking about them when the individual is missing or there's an unsolved murder. You have to keep saying it out loud and encourage others to say it out loud. Angie Barlow's another one. Absolutely. So before we leave you tonight, we just want to remind you there is a link in chat for the Karina Memorial Walk this weekend. I wish I could be there, but I just can't make it to Indiana this weekend. But my heart and my spirit will be with everyone there at the walk this weekend. And Randy, we cannot forget about Randy. Randy is a big partner of ours. He is the one that hosts all of these memorial walks. He learns about each one of the cases, and he is the one that really he created the first memorial walk for Abby and Libby. Now we've had 2 Flora memorial walks. We've had a memorial walk for Tabitha Shuck Rains. We're now having one for Karina McClurkin, and there's going to be many more to come in the Indiana area. And we just have to encourage others in other states to start their own memorial walks and to keep saying their names. I appreciate each and every one of you for staying here with me for the past almost hour and a half, and for opening your minds, thinking of listening to a new perspective of what Galen went through, and for supporting her. Please continue to do that. She needs our love, our support, and our prayers more than ever. I'll be back in a couple days with more stories. Until then, don't forget, we do have a Flora for Angels Memorial channel. Say their names. Keep saying their names, because justice does matter. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.